You're more powerful than you could ever imagine. And that comes from who we are, the species that we are. We're the most powerful species on the planet. We're the most powerful species that there has ever existed on this planet. And just think about that for a moment. It's really incredible. We started out as another animal on the savannah, another creature that was hunted by lions and tigers and hyenas, and then there just came a moment where individuals of our species started to figure shit out, like figure things out and think, so if I do this, the predators don't come after me, or if I build this, then it's more comfy for us to sleep and it's out of reach of danger. And so there was just a point where, as a species, we threw off the shackles of nature. For whatever reason that was, and it's debated by scientists all around the world. But we kind of said, okay, we're no longer subject to these laws anymore. Kind of the laws of the jungle. Of course, we're subject to the laws of nature, but we're no longer subject to the laws of the jungle. Eat or be eaten, kill or be killed. The fittest survive, because we started to move into an epoch where it wasn't just the fittest survived anymore. We looked after our sick and our young, and that was a major part of our species. But there are other species on the planet that do that at the moment. But we started to develop things that other species just did not have. The ability to plan ahead, to know that there's a future. Now, whatever the reason is for these changes to our species is contested, and there's so many theories that anthropologists are grappling with and trying to understand why us. Because I don't know if you understand the incredible power that we've developed, our superpowers that we've developed as a species and as individuals. Do you understand what that means? Do you understand what it means that we can plan and we can plot and we can strategize and we can empathize and we can figure out the solution to problems? I don't think people ever just take a moment and just understand the magnitude of what actually happened to our species. I don't think people realise, because it's almost unbelievable. Because can you imagine any other species going through that change on our planet to the point where they can control the rest of the planet? And you're a member of that species. You're blessed with the gifts that our ancestors evolved for us. And you've got all of those things that our ancestors developed, those defenses, those being able to create weapons to defend themselves against other animals or against other members of our species, to set traps, to create traps, to create fire, to build shelters. All of these things contributed to the incredible species that we are. But it's, as I say, it's almost unbelievable, because you can't. All of the species are members of the ecosystem and the food chain, and they play their role. And it's almost unbelievable to imagine another species completely becoming so advanced that they can step outside of that food chain and control the food chain. Not just be the top of the food chain, but control it and mold it and grow things and manipulate nature to their advantage. It's almost unbelievable. Like if you were to, it's only because we're humans that you can comprehend it. Think about that. So if I tried to explain to a chimp or a dolphin that are highly intelligent animals what humans had gone through and what humans were capable of, they wouldn't understand. They just wouldn't get it. They just wouldn't get how we can pass stories from one generation to the next, and we're still learning about something that happened 2,000 years ago. They wouldn't be able to comprehend it. The most that they can do is pass down, I would imagine, culturally. I think there's some kind of debate about culture also, that some species can pass things like song. So some dolphins and whales and things like that pass song on from generation to generation, and some elements of chimp culture they pass from generation to generation, but not to this magnitude, not to what we're genuinely capable of. We're unique. You're unique. So within our species, you're unique. But the power that we have is very much brain driven. So everything that we aspire to do and everything that affects us now isn't physical anymore. We don't lose in the game of life based on our physical attributes anymore at all. Nobody can tell me one example, and I challenge you to drop me a comment if there is an example of this. But nobody can challenge me on there being an activity in human life that is won and lost based solely on physical attributes. There isn't one. Everything that happens to us is mind-based. And so one of the reasons that we became such a super species on the planet was brain growth. It gave us the ability to understand things that weren't understood before, that went beyond instinct, problem solving, thinking about the future of our ancestors or our relatives, or it gave us more time to consider things. Because we were no longer a prey item, now we could sit back and we could think about things and we could dream. So we then started to say, what was over the hill? What was the other side of the jungle? And so this power that we all possess, it's inside all of us, but it's been forgotten because everything that we do is mind, is mental. A lot of it's been forgotten. And it's that kind of abstract thinking that allows us to step outside of our physical being. Because we're no longer running to hunt. We're no longer doing any of that. We're able to plan, and we're able to strategize and come up with solutions, and so the idea of abstract thinking is really powerful to our species and makes us what we are. The abstract thinking being something that we may not know to be true, but that we suspect is true. So, giving an example again of primitive humans, it may have been that or it would have been at some point a human ancestor of ours would have thought to themselves, I see the herds of antelope flowing down through this valley. And they always cross this same part between these rocks, between these cliff faces, or between these trees or whatever else. I suspect that if I dig a hole on that path and I cover it with a loose layer of sticks and leaves so that they don't know that the hole's there, I suspect, although I've never seen it happen, I suspect that when they walk over it, they fall down. And so that individual thought abstractly and thought, well, it's not just almost. I'm not just thinking kind of the floor now. The floor is the last thing that exists. I'm now kind of getting a bit more three-dimensional, and things that kind of the other animals won't understand. And so it's that development. And so we've got this huge capacity as a species for problem solving and figuring stuff out. And again, I think maybe we're losing that. People who feel trapped and stuck in their life at the moment, and yes, I know that COVID's terrible, and yes, I know that lockdowns are horrible, and yes, I know that the economy's not good, but just understand who you are. Understand the essence and the power that may lie dormant inside you. Once you can harness that and understand it, then whatever issues you've got going on become trivial, and you can fix them very easily. You've just got to figure it out.